Hello and welcome to Engineering is STEMTastic. So my name is Paula and I'm a civil engineer and I'm going to be helped today by Mimi.
My name is Mimi Mosu and I'm a civil engineer at Sir Robert McAlpine.
So we both work for Sir Robert McAlpine and you'll find out a little bit about them later. So what we're going to talk about? Well, we're going to find out what is engineering and why I think it's STEMtastic. So first of all, we'll have a look at how important engineers are and then what engineering is. And there's lots of different types of engineering. And then I'm going to show you how fantastic the E is in STEM by looking at some exciting projects. And then we'll have a think about the future of engineering and how it'll affect us all going forward. So I'm going to ask tomorrow engineers who are now known as Neon. I'm going to hear a little bit more from Mimi and then we're going to have a look at the Interesting Engineering website to see what they all think on how important engineers are. So what tomorrow's engineers say, which is now on the Neon Futures website, they say that engineering is exciting jobs that make a difference. The work that engineers do affects billions of people. It is creative and hands-on. It's all about solving problems, designing things and improving things. Engineering is behind everything from your smartphone and hairstyling products to the lights you switch on and the shoes on your feet. So if you enjoy science, maths, design and technology or computing at school, you too could be designing cutting-edge technology or providing water for drought-plagued countries. Can we live without engineers?
No, we cannot live without engineers. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Because I think in that split second I actually thought of the world without us and I just thought there'll be nothing here. 1, 2, 3. No, I don't believe we can live in a world without engineers because engineering is all around us. It's the basis of our being.
Thank you, Mimi. And looking at Interesting Engineering website and thinking about why engineers are becoming increasingly important. So we become more and more dependent on technology, and so engineers will become more and more important. And some of the areas that will actually become more important of and that engineers have an enormous impact on modern life is agriculture, that's where food comes from, education and of course health. So answering the question, how important are engineers? Well, they're needed now, they're needed for the future, so they're very important. So what is engineering? Let's find out more from Teach Engineering.
You find things made by engineers everywhere. If you look around, everything you see, your car, your toaster, your shoes, your house.
The building you go to school in, there was a civil engineer involved in that. The computers that we play on, there was a mechanical engineer, an electrical engineer.
Paint, you name it, anything. Toilet paper, shampoo, food products.
Engineering is all around you.
Engineers are everywhere.
I think it would take somebody with a really powerful growth mindset to accomplish things like this.
Because, you can't just think about it, you have to actually think about it, because those things are really hard to think about.
You would need to have problem-solving skills.
It's just a matter of having a little curiosity and the drive to do something to help the world. I think sometimes we can be stereotyped as you have to be nerdy or you have to be a boy or you have to look a certain way, and I don't think that's true. I think anyone can be an engineer.
So different types of engineers, we call them different disciplines, and there are loads and loads of them. So let's just explore just a few. So mechanical engineers. Mechanical engineers say that they build the world around us, from the tiniest nanotechnology through to cars, buildings, aeroplanes and space stations even. You can see from the photos, which is just a Google search, the variety of things that mechanical engineers do. Electrical engineers. Let's have a look at a day in the life.
From any given day, I have this wide range of things that I can work on and ultimately learn from and gain experience from. So it's not the same thing every single day. You have to come in with the game day mindset, because some days are gonna be a challenge, but that's really what I like. I love seeing things come from just an idea to paper to real life, and you watch it literally from every single step until boom, we have a substation with motors. My name is Charles Nimnu, and I'm an electrical engineer. An electrical engineer at a refinery manages and operates the power system of that refinery. If you think of a refinery as a neighborhood, you have a substation or your power source that comes to your neighborhood. We then design and distribute the electrical power to each household or each unit in the plant. It's kind of like a balancing act too, where people can work on it safely, but at the same time have power keep flowing all around so they can keep going out to the units. It really requires a lot of analyzing of the power system, knowing how it runs, and then changing it to fit what you want to do. I wear 2 different hats. First one being a project engineering hat, second one being more of a maintenance engineer. I get the freedom to be creative and design things how I like it, per our standards of course, but I do have a lot of flexibility, and that's really one of the things I really appreciate.
So biomedical, this is a field that takes science and applies it to the biological systems by use of mechanical engineering. So you can start to see that things are very much intermingled, and you can see there that biomechanical engineers do things like robots, help people with missing limbs and other things. So now on to my favourite type of engineering, civil engineering, the one I love. So let's listen to a clip from the University of Bath.
What is civil engineering? Civil engineers combine creativity with imagination and technical expertise to design our built environments. But as a civil engineer, what will you do? You'll be designing sustainable buildings and bridges that bring people together. You'll be developing transport systems fit for our future. You'll be benefiting humanity by providing clean water, energy, food and shelter. You'll be building a world resilient to climate change and natural disasters. Civil engineers are improving the quality of the built environment for all. Are these things you want to achieve? You might become a civil engineer if you like developing ideas to change the world, applying maths and science in an imaginative way, collaborating with others to work through challenging tasks, questioning how things are designed and built, using technology to find the most sustainable solutions, and seeing your ideas turned into reality. Studying civil engineering involves learning how to be a designer, developing the skills to tackle the world's sustainability issues, taking inspiration from experts in industry and academia, carrying out experiments to see how materials and structures behave, extending the boundaries of what is known through research, going on field trips to enrich your learning. By doing these things, you'll gain more than civil engineering theory. You'll have skills in design, problem solving, project management, and creative thinking. You can work in industries like structural and architectural engineering, water engineering, geotechnical engineering, and transport and infrastructure, preparing you to make an impact on the world sustainably.
So I think I've shown you that I think the E in STEM is absolutely fantastic. Engineers Basically, we need them. They're for everything around us, and they help us as well be more sustainable. So just have a look at some exciting projects. So buildings don't always have to just be a plain old brick building. You can see here that there's all sorts of exciting buildings that means that the engineers that designed them and built them got really creative. So engineering is also a creative way of working. Engineers are also innovators, and here's some of the wildest engineering innovations of 2020, which shows how different engineers are. So there's some ice cream. Oh, some cow milk without the cow. So this is synthesized milk to help you cut down on dairy food. So here's a power plant which actually has a ski slope and a hiking trail on top of it. Because it's so clean, it actually helps us as well work towards carbon neutrality. And oh, is that some eggs that I see? Some eggs, some more food related things. Yes, it is. So there's some eggs and some bacon, it looks like. No, it's not bacon. It is for bacon. It is basically made out of plant-based beef. So again, more food related things. And oh, there's some more food related things. Some no calorie sugar. Wow, that looks good. So we can have more of what we like without any of the sugar. And there, of course, is our biomechanical engineers helping people in everyday life that require you know, a little bit of help because they've lost limbs and other things. So you can see the wide variety how engineers help everybody in everyday life in ways that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of before. So even art projects, things that people would associate with totally creative work, requires engineers to help them stand up. You can't have things that are going to blow over in the wind. So we all need to work together, and I think that's been a theme throughout all of the different clips and all of the different descriptions. No single engineer can work on their own. Teamwork is absolutely vital. So the E is absolutely fantastic, but let's not forget that engineers cannot operate without scientists, technologists and mathematicians, and they also, each engineer has a little bit of that knowledge as well. So anybody that's interested in any of them fields could be a fantastic engineer. So let's now have a quick look at the future of engineering. So what have we got? Oh, are we going to have aerospace engineering on Mars? We're going to do more to do with food and medical engineering, smart infrastructure and sustainable engineering and software development. So you can see that there's a wide variety of different types of engineers needed for the future, and all of them things cover a range of those disciplines that we've talked about. So I think I've proven to you that engineering is totally STEMtastic. It's essential now, it's creative, it's innovative, it's varied, it's for everybody, and it's needed for the future. So other talks you might be interested in later in the week is career routes into engineering. So I can explain a whole range of how you can get into some of these sectors, including apprenticeships and things like that. Or you might be interested in STEM in construction. It's for everyone. It's not just dirty building sites. There's a whole range of STEM jobs in construction with and without hard hats. And if you want to speak to me direct, I am helping close out the whole of STEMtastic 21 at that final session on Friday at 2:45. So come along and ask me, Engineer Paula. Thanks for listening.